Hi guys and welcome to Bomb Anime.
It's your girl Ruka.
And Big Boy Summer here bringing you a Let's Talk on The Way of the House Husband.
I wasn't going to watch this because it sounded silly. It was on Netflix, so that already counted against it. But I was bored. So I decided to watch it, and I'm glad that I did, actually.
To be honest, it gave me Psyche K vibes, and just like Ruka said, it was on Netflix. So when she hit me up and was like, yo, you should watch this, we gotta talk about it. I was like, but it's on Netflix though. But I kind of enjoyed it, to be fair.
So it's a light-hearted comedy about an ex-yakuza. Not just an ex-yakuza, but a top guy. The immortal dragon.
Think John Wick.
Okay.
He's the John Wick of the Yakuza right now, alright?
He's so intimidating, he's so scary, other Yakuza are scared of him, he has this massive reputation, but he has decided to turn his life around and become a house husband.
House husbando!
It seems like people are talking about this one event where he beat up, I think, 10 different groups barehanded, and that is his biggest claim to fame. And after that moment, he decided that he was going to become a house husband. In a flashback from Miku, we saw that she first met him and he was all beaten up. So I'm wondering if, although he beat up like all this Yakuza, he was injured badly and she took care of him, and that's how he met his wife.
Yeah, I would have liked to know a little bit more about how they got together, because like them two seem very, very different. But I do get their dynamic and how comedic it is, because she's very not so crazy in the whole what you'd expect a stereotypical teenage girl to be. And he's all not so crazy in the whole what you expect a Yakuza dude to be.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
And the fact that they approach everything genuinely is where the comedy comes in, and I find that hilarious.
Also, she punches like Sakura.
Yeah, she's got them Sakura hands.
I actually think that it's so funny because although he's a house husband, he actually approaches every single situation as if he is still in the Yakuza, which makes loads of misunderstandings with all the people around him, and he ends up changing a lot of people's lives in positive ways by accident, and it literally means nothing to him. He's just going about his day.
To be honest, I really like, again, I know I said this already, the way that he approaches stuff is actually, yeah, it's very Yakuza, but it's ridiculously genuine. And he makes people think about their mums, about good times, about how well they feel. He's got an intimidating face. He's basically, don't judge a book by their cover, innit? By their cover and their past actions and the fact that they can beat 10 people barehanded. Don't judge a book by that.
Yeah, you shouldn't judge a book by its cover, and I think that they showed us that with the police interaction that he had. Although it's a comedy, they actually, in a light-hearted way, sort of explain the challenges that ex-convicts actually go through when they are trying to sort of change their lives around. The police were hounding him the whole time. He was getting stopped and searched. They tracked him down to a birthday party. They interpreted all of his actions as something potentially criminal, and were just basically trying to catch him out to rearrest him and send him right back to prison.
The thing is though, we never ever got told he ever went to prison in the first place. So this might have been just like a badge of honor that the police were trying to get.
That's
because
true. Unfortunately,
that's what happens in the real world. And yeah, like you said, I actually had a lot of comments about the topic you brought up about what do you do after you've served your time. Because yeah, this is lighthearted and it's showing how someone has turned themselves around. But look at the universe it had to be presented in. A universe where loads of Yakuza are turning their lives around. Like, look at the boss lady that's the head of the other household.
Oh,
the one
yeah.
that's working in the supermarket. Like, yeah, she's got her people who will follow her, because these guys are leaders, innit? For better or worse, these guys are actually leaders of people. So they've always still got followers. Even Tatsu's still got Masa and his rivalry. Like, they will still go to bat for him. Do you get what I mean? So, like, it's a case where you have to concoct a universe where it's okay for the Yakuza to turn a new leaf in order for them to be okay. And I like the way that the comedy brings that out.
Also, on top of what you were saying with Masa, he is clearly not really built for this life. He's got the clothes and he's trying to have the attitude, but he was there Googling how to fight a bunch of people at once while in the situation. And then, of course, Tatsu ended up getting beaten up because of him trying to act like a hard ass. He really isn't built for that life, and Tatsu is basically looking after him and pulling him out of that life the more time he spends with him. And I quite like that as well, because you have a lot of the younger people thinking that it's cool and to be in a gang. Sometimes it's not.
Sometimes. Are you endorsing?
Every time it's not.
Good. Like,
I don't know why I said
you're trying to get us banned from
I
YouTube.
have no idea why I said that at all. I really.
Well, I guess you always like the bad boys, Rika, isn't it? Like, is that what it is? Is that what you're trying to say?
I do really like John Wick.
And Sakuna.
Okay, I like fictional bad guys, but I don't like them in real life.
So I like the fact that it gives me Psyche K vibes as well. Because, like, you know how Psyche K is, like, basically an anthologies of situations that happen to Psyche K and kind of gets out of it. And then there's a loose running theme throughout the whole of them. This is literally the same. I like this style of anime writing, and it seems to be the only thing that Netflix can do well, because they're given bite-sized stuff to put together and turn it into episodes and make sure it lasts for 20 minutes.
Wait. I don't know if this is actually a Netflix original.
It said it at the beginning.
Oh,
so
did it?
it did. No, it said produced by Netflix.
Really?
So they didn't write it. Obviously, I'm guessing it was a comic strip.
I think it's a manga.
Or, well, it felt more like, a news article strip.
Yeah.
Like, how Boondocks used to be like that as well and whatever. So it felt really nice and bite-sized, and so obviously Netflix could handle it well. And I know we dump on Netflix a lot for when they do anime or try to do anime, but Netflix Japan is actually off and popping. So it's just for us. Netflix hates us and animes. So well done for doing this one. You did it well. I found it thoroughly enjoyable. I would definitely recommend it, and I think you lot should go and watch The Way of the House Husband.
I actually feel like it should have been longer than 5 episodes. I'm waiting for some more episodes. I want to know more about the backstory about him and his wife Miku, and how they actually met and why he decided randomly at his peak to become a house husband. It's such a big jump. Also, how come so many of the ladies trust him? A lot of anime say, like, this protagonist has a scary face, but they don't usually do it well. But this guy actually looks scary. He looks intimidating. He's got scars on his face. He wears shades at all times. His clothes are intimidating. His stance is intimidating. Why on earth do people trust him with kids? And he says such wild things, like when he was exercising, when they were doing the exercise class, they were doing yoga, and the teacher was like, oh, what poses does this remind you of? And he started talking about all these different poses. This is the when you just got shot pose. This is the pose you make when you've just given a young kid the keys and told him to dump the car. He's clearly a shady dude. Why do they trust him so much?
Because I feel like, again, and it goes back to me repeating myself, because he's so genuine, there's a quality in that. Do you get what I mean? Like, look at how Miku interacts with him. Look at how he actually interacts with people. Yeah, everybody's got a past, but the way that he actually interacts with people, he's got manners, as well as Black Air Force energy. He calls people by their relevant, or in his eyes, you are above me here, so you're a boss lady, you're this, that, and the other. He's got his own sort of mannerisms and actual manners. He actually cares about people. He actually helps people. He's actually willing to try new things. And yeah, everyone knows he's a Yakuza as well. Like, random strangers who are trying to serve him at counters and stuff actually go, yeah, this guy's a yakuza, fam. But they still do the professional thing, and even though that they do that, their interaction is actually quite really nice. So I think, like, as a main character, he's just got that thing that, you know, the likes of Naruto and Gon and all of them people have, where you just, I kind of vibes with you, bro.
Okay, I do get that. Yeah, he is genuinely nice. He went and helped the kids out at Christmas and gave them a whole spread. He is a genuinely nice dude, but then he does weird things that would make the normal person back away, like throwing himself out of a room and into a wall and then smashing his own head into the floor so much that it dents the whole thing. Like, I don't know if I could be around such a volatile person because it's just wild.
But who has he harmed?
Himself? Do you not
Only
still
him.
think that's still a problem?
No, but
Self is a problem.
don't do that. don't make it sound like I'm saying self isn't the problem. It's definitely a problem.
I was saying the thing about gangs,
I'm just
you
saying.
jumped all over
Yeah,
my
but you were condoning gang violence, though.
I was talking about characters in a show, not real life.
You were condoning gang violence, and what I said wasn't that self-harm was good.
You were talking about.
Look,
you were being very insensitive.
Look, self is bad, guys,
really
and
don't
do it.
It
And,
was so insensitive.
but anywho, back to what I was saying. Look, he hasn't harmed anyone else other than himself, and even though when he's hurt himself, he doesn't seem to be okay, because by the next panel he's healed and patched up. Yeah, you back away from him, but once you get to know my man, he's actually alright. Tatsu, you know what? Tatsu, we can go and get snacky together. You get me, fam? Tatsu's blessed.
He can cook me a meal because he throws down, which also reminds me of the other guy. What was his name? Torijiro.
Yeah, the Tiger Fist dude.
I really liked that because he's also turning his life around, but not really by choice. But he can still get back into the gang life if he really wanted to. He's actually trying to be a business owner, and he's also the only person who could rival Tatsu. So you've got like the two top people domesticated.
I guess it's okay since they're dudes and you can say that. If that was a woman, I'm just saying, you know, there's the equality there in it. But yeah, these two have definitely turned their life around, and I like the fact that their rivalry still is there, and it didn't have to come to blows. It came to cool. So you think you can cook? I can cook too. Shokugeki in it. Boom. So I liked it. It was really good, and to be honest, as I said, I definitely recommend this anime.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ruka. Like, you know, you recommended me something nice, and it was a good way of wasting my time, to be fair.
Well, guys, don't forget to let us know what you think in the comments. Have you watched this show? Are you going to now that we've spoken about it? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.
Peace.